Okay, so this is just an exercise. So it's a game. It's basically a game that you can play. And it's kind of fun. So we're going to begin using just charcoal and the needed eraser. When you're doing drawing, when you're making your drawings, I want you to think about how the light is falling on the entire thing at once. So we always go from large to small. We go from large shapes to smaller shapes. We go to large areas, if you're painting large areas of colors, to small areas of colors. We focus on the general first, and then lastly, detail. So details are always last. We always start out big. If you start out big, it'll be more simple for you to choose colors. Even if you're doing portraits, we're going to practice a portrait as well. We could probably do a portrait and a landscape. But first we're going to just do an egg, okay? So on your sheet of paper, just draw an egg shape. Large at the top, small at the bottom. Okay. And make sure it's rounded at the bottom. So I make sure whenever I give like an instruction, I stop and look at what everybody's doing, because I want everybody to keep up, right? And so I don't want them to just use their ability that they already have. I want them to advance in their ability somehow. Okay, so, but if it's good enough, I just keep going. Now the egg is going to be standing on its end on the table. So we need somewhere to cast the shadow. So you can draw a straight line, starting from the left, stop on the left-hand side of the egg. You draw an invisible line to keep it straight or even or level, and continue to the other side. So whenever you draw, you're drawing something. Even if it's practice, sometimes it's good to place it somewhere. Use your imagination to put it somewhere. So now I have a background, I have a middle ground, and I have a foreground, which is at the bottom. So the light is going to be coming from I'm just going to draw a light bulb. It's coming from the left-hand side, and it's going to fall over the egg like that. You can go ahead and draw this little thing too. Draw this very lightly with your pastel, with your charcoal. Barely touch the paper, and that's how you make it light. You're going to draw how the light is falling. So on this one, we only have one light source. So this is usually, you just have this in your mind, right? You don't usually draw this. I just wanted you guys to draw this as an exercise. Now, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to break my charcoal because I want to use the flat side of this charcoal. So it's okay to break the charcoal. And what we're going to do, we're going to just cover up everything. We want to see these lines, the lines of the egg, but everything else we want to cover. Oh yeah, we have some of those cloths, don't we? Blending cloths, they're like little squares. Let's get those. Yeah, I know we have those somewhere. I don't know if it's in there or somewhere else.
And then we have like the little blending pens, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, we do have the cloth. That I can see them there. That's it right there. Right underneath. Right there. Your hand is next to it. But get the dirt in. I can get the most dirty one. Oh, we have enough though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't use that real dirty one. Okay, now that you've done that, and you know where the object is, right? Lightly, I don't want to see any white paper in here because this paper is grainy. So just want to lightly blend it. Don't rub it hard, lightly blend it, just to fill in the areas. Just use the side of it. Yeah, just lay it down flat on just the side. You don't have to rub it hard, Tracy. It's good enough. Now we're going to use the kneaded eraser, and we're going to erase and we'll pick with the kneaded eraser because you're picking up the charcoal. We're going to reveal the light, right? So, for instance, I may start here. This may be the strongest area of light on the egg. And then I'm going to try to, now the marks I'm making are curved, circular, kind of curving to reveal where the light is hitting the egg. So we're taking the charcoal up. And you can get creative if you want to. You can take up as much charcoal. I'm going to actually cast a shadow. So I'm going to take some more charcoal off of the table so I can cast a shadow. And this is the fun part, for me anyway. And with the kneaded eraser, of course, you can knead the eraser. You can model it and mold it. You can also lightly blend where the dark areas hit the light areas to show a shift. If you want to, you can do that. And I always say, remember that you are in control of your picture. So you can look at your picture right now before we go to the next thing and see what would make it better. So I want, for me, with my picture, I want the background to be darker. And the cloth, you can blend with the cloth to move the charcoal around. I may want the shadow to be a little darker. So now we're just working with lights and darks, light and shadow. So what you're doing is creating a little environment there, aren't you? It's an environment. And you could work on this. We're not going to work on this anymore, but you could, like if, for instance, just, you don't have to do this at all. For instance, I could make part of the backside of the egg darker if I wanted to make it, to help it turn, help the light turn the egg. I could also draw the shape of the egg on that's cast, the shadow that's cast. I can decide what shape that shadow is going to be. And that lends a little bit of realism. And you can see the more you work on it, you can model it, you can fix things if you want to, you can do whatever you need to do. And you can work on this for an hour and it would keep evolving. You know, you can start over because the eraser can take things up. But the whole point of this exercise is to get you to thinking about large areas of lights and dark. So even if you're drawing with a pencil, if you can kind of see that in your mind, envision those large areas of value changes. We call it value. From white through, light gray, medium gray, dark gray to black, all those changes. That's the foundation of your drawing or the foundation of your painting. If you're gonna make a painting, you would do it the same way. Okay, let's go to the next one. On you can get, I guess, your next sheet of paper if you, and let's just do some rectangle boxes like this. Maybe two or three boxes that's in perspective, maybe like this. And I want these tall rectangles. You can do a square too, but they won't all be the same size. And you can overlap as well. You can put a box behind another box. That means this line has to be higher than that line to make it look like it's behind that one. Trace it, this line, that line, and this line is going to be the same. Then this line's at an angle, and so is this line. I'm drawing from the side, so my boxes are leaning. I have to actually be directly in front to make my thing straight, so I'm gonna straighten these up. I'm not gonna straighten them up that much. They're all leaning all right, but you can make yours straight. And once you get the box, we're going to do a line again. Your line could be up here, or it could be anywhere. just to place it somewhere. Well, it has to be higher than this. So my line has to be there. It can't be here. I'm just gonna put another box there. This time I think we're gonna do something a little bit more dramatic. We're gonna allow the box to be backlit. So since I'm using one sheet of paper, I'll use this same light source. So the light source, don't draw the light source this time, but it's coming this way. I'll draw it so you can see it. It's coming this way. So we're gonna backlight it. Now, when you backlight, it's very good for portraiture, backlighting. If you could master backlighting, your portraits are going to look more real, more realistic, and they're going to appear to have more volume as well. And it's more dramatic. It's highly dramatic. So if I backlit this, then the front is going to be, well, let's go ahead and go through this process again. Just cover it up again, cover everything. Just make sure you can see the lines. Well, I almost did, since I could see it in my mind, I almost forgot to just black everything out. And doing it this way too, you see that if you use too much pressure, sometimes it don't work. And sometimes you're gonna make light marks. Tracy, just turn see your charcoal? Use the edge of it. Yeah, right, that whole wide edge, there you go. And it's easier if you turn your hand over. So it's harder to do, since you're right-handed, it's harder for you to do it this way than for you to just do it this way. Yeah, that's it. Now I've lost some of my lines, so I'm gonna draw some of my things back in. I've lost this last one.
Put the lines back.
Well, only if you can't see it.
I can barely see them. Like, just leave them alone, I can barely see them.
Yeah. So since it's backlit, what we're going to do is, and the light is coming from the top and it's behind. So the top of these boxes, now this could be a city, right? You could be drawing a city.
So I was thinking it looked like a cityscape.
Yeah. So the top would be the highest light, and the side would be lighter than the top, and the front would be dark. Now for mine, since I have a shadow being cast on this one, I have to do something like that and allow this building or this box to cast a shadow here. And I may do something like this just to, sometimes you make little marks just to show people what's happening, you know? Even though the mark, in real life, that mark may not even be there. So now, in doing this, all we're doing is thinking about light. By taking the charcoal up, you're forced to just think about light. Large areas of lights and darks. You think about lights and darks. And the front would be very dark. Like I'm gonna go back and make the front. There's no light hitting the front of these boxes because it's backlit. So it's very dark. Your darkest dark is gonna be the front. And what you can do too, just a little drawing tip. We're using the sides of the charcoal, but we're using the points and the corners of the charcoal. So for one block of charcoal, that's why I don't like using charcoal pencils, because it doesn't develop your skill. If you want skill, you want to just be able to use the charcoal by turning it in your hand. I can make some lines hard if I want to. So go ahead and make your city stand out. Now, let me mention this too before you keep going. That these buildings are going to cast shadows, right? So don't forget that. These shadows are going to be dramatic. I'm calling them buildings, but they're boxes. They're going to cast shadows. But you can see, again, if you go from large areas of thinking to smaller areas, the more, if I wanted this to be a cityscape, I would begin to put in windows and things like that, you know. I think about Batman when I see things this dark like that. Dark City, it's the Dark Knight. And we're going to do one more after you finish that one. So when you get into it, it's almost like a puzzle, isn't it? Or a quilt or something, you know. You just putting these simple elements together. Now all this could be abstract too. You still think about lights and dark, and everything can be abstract.
You cast shadow from the buildings.
Yes.
They out here. I didn't see them too good.
Okay, that's real good. So we're going bigger and bigger. So now we're going to do a landscape. So you get your other sheet of paper. And you can always go back and work on your other things if you want to as well. We're going to do a very simplified landscape. It's not going to be a lot of detail, I don't think. But we're going to use the same concepts of the building and the edge and the cast shadow. So the first thing you're going to do is, I say about in the mid page, a little bit below the middle, just draw a horizon line. And this is going to be a scene that you don't usually see this way, but we're going to make it very simple so that you can play with it. So imagine that you are on a mountain, okay? And so this is the background, this is the foreground. You're standing on the mountain, and back here, you would see like, don't do this, but there's land down here. Just imagine that there's land down here. So here at the top of the mountain, you have a grove of trees, and we're just gonna make trees like this, kind of like circular. At the top of the hill. No details. Just line some trees up. They could be different heights. But they're lined up on this hill. So we have a background, we have a middle ground where the trees are lined up, and we have a foreground. And this time you can be more creative. And what we're going to do is we're going to, again, the imagination is this. Now you might want to, you could put like a little stream or something, or a path there if you wanted to. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want to do down here. But this is the foreground at the bottom of the page. You could put a rock in the foreground if you wanted to. Or a bush. It don't matter. Or put nothing. All this could just be grass. So where there's really two horizon lines here, and you rarely see that, but this is one horizon line. I'm going to break it up and make it uneven. And the other horizon line, you can't see what separates the sky from the earth, because we're on a mountain looking down. Well, we're not looking down because we're not at the edge, but just imagine that. Now, again, cover the whole thing. Once you have your drawing down, just cover the whole thing. When I draw, I often drop my pencil or my charcoal, my instrument when I draw, because I don't squeeze my pencil, I don't squeeze the charcoal. It's light in my hand. That way I can feel it. I can feel what I'm doing. I can feel the surface. Well, if you're drawing for life, if you're out in the landscape, or if you're drawing from a photograph, the first thing you look for is the lights and darks, the values. That's the first thing you look for. My hand is not even touching the paper. My hand, Tracy, don't do it that way. Just use your rag like this, fold it, and just let the rag touch the paper, not your hand. Just the rag. It's kind of like you're brushing it, like you're brushing the paper. We're not we're not rubbing the charcoal into the paper. We just want it to be dark, that's all. And when you paint with a paintbrush, you barely touch the paper. You let the paint flow out of the brush. You don't, it's not a marker. There's a difference between a brush and a marker or a pencil. With a pencil, you don't press down into the paper either, because you would make grooves in the paper. Then that ruins the drawings. So the drawing will be less valuable because of the way you drew it. So anybody who know anything about drawing, about art and materials, no matter how good that drawing looks, it won't be worth much because you damaged the paper. Now, put in the lights. Where's the light? I'll let you decide where it is this time. I'm probably going to let the light come from the right-hand side this time. I'm starting with the tree trunk. It's easier for me to imagine it if I start with the tree trunks. And you're going to just draw your landscape with the charcoal and the kneaded eraser. You can add things to it, by the way. Now, I will help you here. The back of your trees is probably going to be lighter. So whatever we're on a mountain, so whatever's down here in the background is going to be a little lighter than what's up here. I say up here, but at the bottom of the page where we're standing. And you have to go slower because you have to use your imagination all the way through this. You have to think about this part. And your eraser can be kneaded. When it gets too dirty, you can just stretch it like chewing gum. And clean it that way. That's how you clean it. So when you're doing your landscape, I want you to think about the entire value shifts, the value changes, and how the light falls. When you get down here, you could do great. Remember, I could decide, okay, how's the light gonna fall with these trees on the ground? It's gonna be very complex. It's not the same in every area because, you're outside. So there's light everywhere. And if you can see the value changes, and you try to paint those value changes, that's going to make your landscapes look more realistic. So you can go back and darken things, and you can take things up. And what'll happen is, as you work through this, I'm not going to do this whole thing because it's pretty large, but you can see your landscape begin to appear out of the darkness. Oh, I was going to do a face, but I don't think I need to do a face now. I may do a face just so that you can see me do one. Okay? I'm going to take this down, and I'll do a face so that you can just see me do one. And these are little things you can do you do this for practice, only for practice. And for fun. So a face is kind of like the egg. You would just have a shape, darken, black it out. You don't draw any features. You just do that egg shape, right? The egg shape. Again, just black it out. Don't do any features. And then you use your kneaded eraser to put the features in. You learn how to not just have one pressure. When you're using your kneaded eraser or your charcoal, you have light to moderate to heavy pressure. But you're going to start light. And allow, I'm always talking about allow the picture to tell you what to do. So you're looking at your own picture. You are in control. And on most faces, you're not, one side is going to be light and one side is going to be darker. And again, this is practice. All this is just practice. So make it a game. So the face will start to appear.
Hit the last sheet. The faces.
And what you do, once you think you've done it with any of these, this is what you do. I'll show you with this. We're too precious with our art, with our stuff, even if it's not any good. So, you know, what you do, you say, okay, I did that once. Let's do it again. And again, and again, and again, and again. And you get better. Just mark out what you did and start all over and do it again, and again, and again, and again. And that's how you increase your skills. That make sense? So I'm doing it again, but I'm doing it my egg a different way this time. So you can experiment, just play, like I say, just play and have fun. Do it over and over again. And when you finish, wash your hands. mark it out and work on it again. She thought she was through, I guess. But the real marking it out and starting over is so important.